There was some really weird news going on today, but really every day. I can't believe it, and I think it's very fun. So, of course, I have to cover it because that's kind of what I do. That's why I bring in people like Mark over here to help me make it make sense. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Gavin, I was jogging and jumped out of the way when he saw the electric car. I saw it go past me at over 20 miles an hour, Mark. I bet it was even higher in kilometers. What is that, like 32?
It's like 32.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
This is breaking news, Mark. We have to cover it. What the
My
heck?
question is, how did he hear the electric car? Because they're so whisper quiet on the
Oh,
trail. How did he actually hear it? Or is he just feeding us a line?
but newsworthy. It's newsworthy. And I get it. You've got a video clip. It's local. If it bleeds, it leads. How did he hear? Well, if the guy was going under 20, it would have been making a sound, wouldn't it?
But not at 20 or over.
Right. And this is not a Tesla thing, you guys. This is a thing. This is humans. Well, you know, in December of 22, a driver had a medical issue and drove for 7 miles on the same trail before hitting someone. Okay. What kind of car was that?
They conveniently left that part out, Brian.
Oh, we're not going to slam Prius now.
Nope.
We're not going to slam the Explorer. Our kids use the trail. A lot of people we know, pets, older people. We need to make sure people feel safe. Okay, so I hear you, but I think your complaint is about a lack of bollards
Or signs.
or signs. I have never mistaken a footpath for a road, not while walking and not while driving. So, yeah, he might not have seen it from behind him if it weren't for the car's headlights.
Brian,
Okay.
we know the reason that this appeared as a news story was, of course, that no one could put together a Tesla in a fire. That's why. So this was the second choice.
There just aren't enough of them. They're very uncommon. Uh, and I'm really impressed, by the way, with how not flamey Tesla is. They've done, hey, they've had fewer fires than people who've made a lot less cars. But you notice they also get a pass. When the Taycan very first came out, one of them, while charging at a home, caught fire. And it made the news, of course, but it wasn't big news. And the apologists were out in full force quickly. Hey, it's a brand new platform. It's a brand new design. It's cut them some slack. And I said, absolutely. But show me some consistency, would you? Because what are we doing, man?
Well, of course, the whole thing here is if you put the word Tesla in any of your news stories, it's a bait and click type story. It's going to draw more views, more eyeballs than anything else. So, of course, news media is savvy to this. And since they get paid by the click and view now, this is something that they just employ constantly, whether or not it is a Tesla story or really not.
There are people who are so obsessed with Tesla that they would spend $1 million if they had to just to be weirdos about it. You know, like Dan O'Dowd. You won't believe who bought almost $1 million worth of Roadsters. I mean, if it was me, I would have.
Hold the presses, Brian. Is this the same Dan that went out and started to put advertisements about how FSD was going to be killing people and that the government needed to step in to stop Tesla from using FSD with the public? Is this the same Dan that bought 3 Tesla model Roadsters?
Brand new 2008 and 11 Roadsters, the ones that were lost in the shipping containers for all those years. He bought them. He bought them. It's the very same. You can tell because if you zoom in far enough, you can't see it in this picture, but there's blue grease paint from his makeup all over this. They must have photoshopped it out. That's how you know it's him.
This
Dan.
is really unusual. I can't understand why Dan would be purchasing these 0 mile roadsters that were spotted in China in a container. It just doesn't make sense. Why on earth is he trying to put together a new video that just contains old roadsters maybe?
I think he's going to add them to his what must now be a warehouse-sized hate shrine to Elon. These are the last cars Tesla made that didn't have any kind of autonomous features on them. So maybe he's trying to earn some street cred and say, look, I don't hate Tesla. I just think they need to step back 15 years in technology until all the companies that make ADAS, who I am a client of, can catch up.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of very strange ideas, I had a gentleman tell me this week I don't remember if it was my YouTube comments or somewhere, saying, the other manufacturers can't get a break. Tesla should close one of their factories for 6 months just so that we don't have to have a price war. What are you talking about? Are you clowning
Obviously,
me right
someone
now?
that doesn't hold any Tesla stock.
Or want EVs to be a thing, I guess. So insane. So yeah, these were sent over to Gruber Motors, who has burnt more Teslas than I think Tesla themselves in total, because they've had 2 separate warehouse fires that took out their entire shop, which is, boy, I would not write the third policy is what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's a prestigious point to have. 2 fires at your warehouse. Not a good idea.
Well, they had, I want to say 10 or 12 in one of the fires. I mean, they lost a lot of Roadsters. Have you ever seen one in person?
I have, and I was shocked as to the actual how small it is, how low to the ground it is. It is basically a go-kart. I was really surprised. I thought it would be a lot bigger when I did spot one in person.
They are very compact. No two ways about that. It is a very cute car. The one I saw had this carbon fiber hood. I don't know if that was always the hood they had. I've seen, I don't know, 4 or 5 of them now, but, I go to a lot of these shows and people who own these are very keen to bring them because they're so special.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tesla fans, O'Dowd is better known as the guy running the Dong Project, which is basically a campaign against FSD. And yes, I do call it the Dong Project because he's such a D. It could be surprising, considering how consistently he's attacked him. He already owns a couple of Roadsters.
And there is talk in the article about him actually donating some to a museum. Maybe not donating, but displaying in a museum.
Oh,
So
sure.
there's a really weird vibe to this. I just don't quite understand how someone that is so against how Tesla is marching forward with technology and FSD would want to give Tesla any credit whatsoever. Whether or not the car has software or not, I wouldn't think he'd want the name Tesla associated with a good thing. I just don't get it.
He's a weird dude, is what he is. I had a story that was on my channel about a week ago. I was at a event at a service center where the owners club was allowed to actually finally get inside the Cybertruck. And the Tesla club president pulled me aside and said, have you talked to my friend here? He was going to give a presentation this morning, but he arrived late. He died in his Tesla while driving it, had a heart attack, opened his eyes, and he was on the side of the road with medics around him. And he was he was gone for a couple minutes, and the car didn't kill anyone, didn't crash, he wasn't responsive. The passenger couldn't act to disengage, to get it under control, didn't know what to do. And the car pulled over, put on the hazards, and he's already on the phone with 911, and they saved him. They saved him.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not a mannequin. That's a real person who sat down with us and shared his story. And Dan doesn't care about that. Dan wants that driver to not have that possibility ever.
No, Dan wants everyone to use his affiliated software, no one else's.
Well, he doesn't make ADAS, but his software is in all these cars. They use his debugger, his compiler, a lot of his back-end systems. And I'm assuming what happened was early on, he went to Tesla and said, you need my software. And they said, we got this. And he said, You'll rue the day you crossed Clown O'Dan. I'm going to make some balloon animals and you'll see. So if you hear that sound of squeaking, that's what it is.
That's me behind you.
Would you like a poodle, Elon?
That is fantastic. He should go with that on his business card.
Yeah, he should use that picture someone made of him looking like Pennywise and just put it on there. Just own it. Own it. I did go to his booth at CES or the Detroit Auto Show, one of them, CES, and he was not there. But
too bad.
No, but I could hear the music playing, the circus music, so I knew he couldn't be far, but I couldn't find it. It's good music. It's a good song. You can hear it right now, I bet, in your own head.
I will not be able to lose it now.
So that's what Dan does, is all those terrible things because he's on a mission. He's on a mission. He's causing net harm. It's not slowing Tesla sales. It is keeping people back from using a system that is demonstrably safer. He was asked on X a couple of days ago, how much data would it require for you to see that it is actually safer? And he answered, honestly, there is no amount of data that could convince me, which means it was never about the safety. It's about something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't want to look at any evidence. He's happy where he is.
Just really sad. Just really sad. He does have resting bee face, if you will, which is unfortunate because he looks very sad. He looks angry all the time. That's his repose. He looks like Sam Eagle. And really, that's my biggest complaint with most of his videos. Not enough Kermits. So let's see. I think we probably got it all. Is there anything we're missing? Is there anything else goofy this week we should probably cover?
I really didn't think you were going to roll in the Muppets into this, but hey, you did it. So congratulations.
I didn't either, but it's my thing. You know what? I'll mention that real quick. Disney, you're doing all these live action remakes, but you own the Muppet Library. You could do Muppet remakes. Muppet Little Mermaid, Muppet Lion King. I would be there for that. That would be the best thing ever. But no, we got to do these weird, creepy CGIs and call them live action. Very upsetting, Disney. You dropped the ball. All right. Well, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? Is there any weird news we should cover? You can leave that in the comments below. Head over to the Tesla Life there. They every week they're doing their podcast. It is a lot of fun with the whole crew there, Pat and Casey. Did I get it right? Anybody else I'm forgetting? Do you ever have anybody else? I swear I've seen someone else on the show before.
Just the three of us.
No, it was me I saw. That's who it was. I've been on a time or two. So, head over there. You never know. So let's see here. Leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, do the usual things. Stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, at the circus.